Okay, this video is going to be a tutorial on how to do things in the trainee role in TBA. This first slide has the list of training tasks that are going to be covered for anyone who's using this for official purposes. Okay, welcome. This is going to be a tutorial on how to use TBA, your training business area. The tasks I'm going to go over today are the tasks under the trainee role. And the ones, I'm not going to do everything you can do in the trainee role. I'm going to do all the ones, though, that are considered core tasks that all the airmen need to get signed off on. Just so you know, my training reference for this is going to be the TBA User's Guide. It is version 3.3.0.5.2. It was edited 23 February 2021, so it's pretty current. It doesn't have everything in it, but if you want to find it, all you have to do is go to this help, and then you click help, and it'll take you to SharePoint where you can download it. So if anyone wants to see these actual references, that's the way they can do it. But I'm going to get right into it. So the first task is listed as query enterprise training warehouse or utilization training workshop products, and I'm just going to be going one step at a time here as these items and just doing them. Here we go. So this first one is to do this, you click products, you click find product, and it brings you to this menu where you can search through all these various things. You can scroll through this thing and find exactly what you want, like my FSC is 3D1X3, so I might want to find my CFETP. But if you don't want to have to do all that, you can just type here in this box 3D1X3 and search, and it'll come up with it. So here we have what we're looking at is the CFETP for 3D1X3s and a list of the training tasks from that CFETP. I have right here that I'm only looking at 20 results per page. So if I wanted to increase that, I could see, a lot more results here. So I don't have to continuously click next tasks. Also, if you click view verbiage, what that's going to do is bring up the actual CFETP with the list of tasks. An important thing about this is when you click that view verbiage button, it doesn't actually open the training reference. So if, for example, you're trying to look at the dangers of high voltage equipment, if I click view verbiage, it's not going to explain that. It's just going to be a list of these tasks and what their source is. But that's how you find that stuff. You can scroll through here, like I was saying, or just click search. The next one is to query Work Center. In order to do that, you just go up here to Reports and Queries, and you click Query Work Center. It's pretty easy. This is my Work Center. It'll pretty much only let you look at the one you're assigned to. And I'm going to click Search. So this is my Work Center, and the information I get from this is these are all the employees that have been assigned to my Work Center. Mine, normally a Work Center is just your Work Center, it's not your whole flight, but the way that they have it organized for us is it's our whole flight. So these are all the airmen that have been loaded into our flight in TBA, and then this is our hierarchy. So what you might learn from this is like, hey, why can't I let somebody be a trainer for me? And if they're not on this list, if they're not in your flight, you can't give them the trainer role for you because they have to be in your flight. All right, the next task we're going to do is query task groups. And I'm just scrolling over here in my other window to make sure I read the reference right for you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to select MTP and we're going to query MTP. And what we're going to look at here is display tasks by groups. So this is going to look at the tasks that are in your master training plan, and it's going to organize them by the groups that someone in your organization has created, not the Air Force, like someone in your flight or squadron. So we'll click search. And I already up here, I have my squadron selected, or my work center. So these are all the groups. These links are to the groups of tasks that have been created. And you can see this one is for the PRIC 117, PRIC 152. This is another one for the PRIC 117. This is for 3D1X2's 5-level upgrade training for 3D1X3s. So I can click any of these things and it brings me just to the tasks that are in that group. That's the way to do that. That's what that's for. And again, I can change the number of results over here. The next thing is to query the master training plan master task list. So that's 4.2.10. And what we're going to do is select MTP, and then we're going to go query MTP. And then we're going to go make sure, again, you select your own work center. It should be the only one that's available. And then we're going to display by products. And what we're going to do, again, is we're going to look at all the tasks within our master training list, but they're going to be organized by their source. So did they come from the CFETP? Did they come from an Air Force job qualification standard or a locally generated work center job qualification standard? I'll just check them all. I don't think my squadron has any of the command JQS ones, but those are out there. And here's the tasks, and also I can view the tasks by AFJQS. So this 214 PAPA, I know that that's the one for the PRIC 152. So if I click on it, it's showing me just that, and then these are the tasks that are from that. So that's what we can do with that. All right, query archived individual training plan. So now we're going to look at my personal training because I'm logged in here as a trainee. So I'm going to go to ITP, open ITP, and then I'm going to go to tasks. And instead of active entries here in status, I'm going to go archived. And you just click show all tasks. And then here we go. These are all the tasks that I have been qualified on, but that are archived for me. In fact, some of them I didn't even qualify on. They were loaded to me at one point, and they were never unloaded. So common core tasks, perform basic navigation functions in IMDS, for example. All right, the next one is to sign an ITP task. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to tasks, but I'm going to go to active entries, and then I'm going to go to sign trainee. And nothing's going to come up because I don't have anything to sign right now. But if I did, there would just be a list here, and you can just click checkboxes next to them, and then there's a button that you click to sign, and that's easier than having to go one at a time if you do it the suspenses way. Complete electronic signature. So in order to do that, it used to be with the old TBA, you actually had to type in your username and password, but now it's just there's a box that you click that clicks sign next to a suspense. I don't have any suspenses, so I can't show you, but it's super easy. It requires 0 instruction. You just click sign. The next one we have is complete a training journal entry. All right, so I'm still under my own ITP. Instead of tasks here, I'm going to go to journal entries, and then I can do active or I can look at my archived entries, but I'm going to go active entries, and I'm just going to add a new entry. And then I can type the subject of the entry and the remarks. I would advise you to be pretty detailed about the subject, because when you query these and view them, they just view by subject. And if you just name them training entry 1, training entry 2, you're going to have to slog through all of them and open them all, as opposed to you can just, if you're clear, it makes it much easier. So that's how I'd add an entry. Once I create an entry, it's going to create a suspense for me to sign. In fact, let's do this just so we can see. Test entry for training. I'm going to click save. And then this is how I will sign any suspense or task. It's just this, and then it brings up this little box and click sign. That's it. It puts my initials in. Now my supervisor is going to be obligated to also sign this. And when he logs in, it's going to come to his suspenses page, and he's going to see that as a suspense. So if you want to view your suspenses, that's another task that's on our list here. You just click suspenses, and there'll be a list right here. I don't have any suspenses, so I don't have anything to sign, but that's where they're going to pop up if you just want to see if you've got anything at all. All right, query active and archive journal entry. So I'm going to go to ITP, open my ITP, and again, I'm going to go to journal entries. For active entries, you can just go here, and then I've got query, and you can do a date range if you want, or you can have them by category. I always just do all of them, and then you can do all journal entries, and it's going to come up with everything that is not archived. So I have a ton of stuff that's archived, but this is everything that I have that's not archived, including my run I just made that's test entry. And if I click on it and click submit, it'll open up. There was what I wrote, and I can see here that it's not been signed. For archived entries, I'll go to archived entries, and it's all the same here. If I do all journal entries, then this is going to come up with every archived journal entry that I've got. I've been in the Air Force for 13 years, so there's kind of a lot of them, but I can do the same thing. But again, you notice here that they're only by the subject. So quarterly review, if I put notes in that quarterly review and I didn't know which one it was going to have to click through all of them. So being specific helps when you're doing those subjects. All right, clear suspense notifications. I'd go to suspenses, and if I had any, you'd click on it, and it brings up that box I showed you on how to sign a suspense. That'd be super easy. All right, print ITP. I'm going to go to my ITP, and the bottom thing here is print ITP. And if I go to that, then it is going to generate an ITP for me to download of my individualized training plan. Still loading here. It's going to take a minute. And while this is coming up, the next thing we're going to do is to generate an ITL report. And for any people who have been using TBA a long time, we're going to be using the reports and queries, but we're going to use the ad hoc reporting tool, which is vaguely new like the last few years, as opposed to if you joined the Air Force like me in 2007, they didn't have that, before. So this is still thinking. Let's try and see if we go to reports and queries, see if we can go to ad hoc reporting tool instead. So it takes you here to a different website essentially. This is a super versatile tool. It can do a lot of things. We're not going to do all of them. We're going to do an individual task list because that's what this video is about. So in order to create a new report, we're going to go down here and click Create Report. And then these are all the things that you can use, all the different sort of fields you can use to create reports. One that I use a lot is master task listing, so I can look at all the tasks and see how qualified people are. But right now I want an individual one because that's what this is about. So these are all the fields that will be included, and the ad hoc reporting tool is going to pull all this data, anything that I check. So I'm just going to go ahead and check a bunch of this stuff. And what it's going to give me is a list of tasks, and it's going to say all this information about those tasks cross-referenced according to me. So it's going to say whose name, my name. It's going to have it on every field. It's going to have my employee number, my information for here. What's this for? So for the task, what kind of product did it come from? What is the product's name? What's the product's number? What's the header for the task, if there is such a header? The task and knowledge reference, all this kind of stuff. When I'm ready to actually see this report, one thing you have to do is type a name. So I'll put in name, Bigler task report. And you can describe it more in more detail if you want to, but it's optional. Again, I'm looking at here. These are all the fields that are going to be included. And then when I'm ready to actually create this, you click Generate. And then it's going to take me to another screen and show me my reports. I've already did this with somebody else for individual task report, but here's mine. So it's still generating the report. And if you click refresh, when it's done, oh, there it is. And then I can download it, and it's going to download it as an Excel file. I'll open it up and see if I can show you guys. Oh, yep, there it is. So all that stuff, it's not formatted super prettily, but pretty much every task that has ever been associated with me, archived and not archived, I can see here every single thing as a record. So if you needed to get a record of all of your training you've ever done in case there was a problem with TBA, this might be an effective way to do that. So that was all the things. The first slide of this video is going to be the tasks that we went over. If there's any question about what you want to know that was covered. So I'll just go ahead and return to TBA. And that was all the core tasks for the trainee role. Cool.